Here's my take on a new stim. I've been pretty disappointed with the stim technology as I've seen on the internet so far, so I decided to create my own, and this is my prototype so far. So there's no power switch yet, but that's easy to add. Got a little OLED display on it. One thing you'll notice, as soon as you start it up, you're going to get this screen to ask for a password. It's like an admin thing, so people can't cheese the and abuse the systems. But let me get the back on first, and I'll show you all about it. Alright, so we got the back on. Doesn't quite close all the way yet, but this is version 1. Also, don't have all the screws in. So, but I just want to take you through all the features and things it can do. I think the future version will look something like this. A little more stylized, but you know, up in the air. So this is the stim. I call it the FMU Field Medical Unit 25. You got your plunger or your injector here. On the back side, we got 2 tactile buttons. We got an OLED screen. So when you first turn it on, when you first get it and you first turn it on, you're going to be prompted to set a password. So you have these 2 buttons which set passwords. So A, B, B, A. Set whatever you want. It's going to ask for confirm. And that's going to bring you to your idle screen. So on your idle screen, you'll see it says press firmly to heal. Tell you how many revives you have left on the device. And it has a team identifier. So N is neutral. Pretty simple. If you press down the plunger onto somebody, you're going to get a beep, and this bar is going to decrease, and you're going to see a countdown timer. It says healing. You get 2 beeps on the end. There's a slight cooldown. Then it decreases your revives by 1. And then if you do it again, and you let go before it finishes, you get a triple beep. It says revive failed, cooling down. Does not decrease your revives. But if you finish and you use up all your revives, if I do that, it's going to say revive complete, out of revives. Then it's going to go to a resupply mode where you have to wait this timer in order to receive more supplies to do more revives. I'm going to stop this and I'll let it finish. All right, we got 3 seconds left. Now you can see we've got our revives back, and you can back to healing. So now we'll go over the menu system and what settings you can change and stuff and features it has. So you push and hold both buttons, it'll bring you to the menu, which you enter your password again. And now we have gameplay, display, security, system, and exit. You can move around the menu with these 2 buttons and just select to use the injector. So we'll start with gameplay. Here we can set our max revives. Simply press the plunger again, and you can. It's kind of hard to see. It's a little offset on this version. The screws aren't lined up properly, but I can increase or decrease the amount of revives you get. And you just press the plunger to confirm. You can change how long it takes the revive to happen. So if you wanted it to take 2 seconds, you can hit that. Cooldown percentage is how long the cooldown takes. So right now it's set to 30% of the revive time. So if your revive time was 10 seconds, your cooldown would be 30% of that 3 seconds. You can adjust it up to 100%, so it takes longer between heals or lower. It's your choice. So we'll confirm that. Let's see. Sorry, resupply time is how long that timer is after you run out of revives. It can go up to, I think, 300 seconds, which is about 5 minutes. If more people want it longer, I can change it in software, but this is an admin function. If you're in a revive timer or a resupply timer and you want to just clear it for admin purposes, you can hit this and it'll just clear the you just push the button and it clears the resupply timer. Then you're going to back. So look at that. Next is display. We got team settings. So if you wanted to designate certain ones for certain teams, you can click teams. Now it's set to neutral. I can change it to team A, for instance. And if I go back to the main menu, you'll now see an A down here. If I set this to team B, you'll see a team B. So I'll go back to the menu. A, B, B, A. And we were, then we can change brightness. So you got low, medium, high. That's high. It's not much different, but the next thing is handedness. So right now it's in right hand mode. So if I'm holding up my right hand, I can read the text like this. If I set it to left hand mode, it flops it, and now I'm holding my left hand, and I can read everything. Little thing like that. It's easy. So let's move that back to right-handed. Okay, and last thing in this menu is beep. So when you press to revive, it beeps. You can turn it on or off. Oops. On or off. It's pretty simple. Let's keep it on. We got security system, so we can change the password. And system, it'll do factory reset, so it'll ask you on the next boot for a password. It'll zero any settings to when they come stock. Any changes you save persist through power cycles. So if you set the resupply timer to 5 minutes, you turn it off, turn it back on, it'll still be set to 5 minutes. Now, there are some things so people can't cheat. They can't just power cycle during a resupply timer to like skip it. So if you're in resupply and you turn it off and turn it back on, hoping it would reset, it won't. It'll just restart the full resupply timer. So if you were at a 1 minute left and you turned it off and on, you're back to 5 minutes. If you turn it off and back on trying to get the resupply, man, I can't get these words right. Trying to get the revive counter to go back up to full. If you've used any resupply revives, it'll go into a resupply timer and you'll have to wait that timer again. So it's kind of like an anti-cheat thing. That's pretty much all the features right now. Like I said, moving to something like this as a body style. It's a little shorter. It'll have a plunger in here still. But it looks a little nicer, in my opinion. Cool. Well, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll answer them in the comments.